Well, welcome in everyone to Cuse TV. Brian Higgins and Coach Shafer. We're looking back at Clemson and get you ready for NC State this Saturday at 3 o'clock in the Carrier Dome. And Shafer, we saw two defenses really play well this week. What was it like in a defensive battle?
Well, it was just what you said. You know, we knew going in we're playing number 3 defense in the nation, and you know that we were going to have to fight to get every inch. The thing I was most proud of is the way our defense played, coming up with 4 turnovers in a game against a very good Clemson team that hadn't turned the ball over a whole lot. Really impressed with the way the front 7 played. You know, really wasn't until the end of the game where we gave up some rush yards. And thought the secondary probably played their best game of the year against an elite group of wide receivers and a kid that had made a lot of throws down the field. So, you know, you mentioned earlier about Brandon Reddish. Reddish played well, but Darius Kelly probably played his best game of his career. It doesn't always show up in the stat sheets, but, you know, communication, checks and adjustments wise, those kids had a really good game plan by Coach Bola, and they did everything they could to put us in a position to win that game.
Brandon Reddish had an interception, nearly had a second. Darius Kelly got the first of his career. How much has that group really improved here over the last month?
They've improved. I think every week that group's gotten better. And when you look at the number of reps that they're getting and the rotation that we've had, with Wayne Morgan being down at the corner position, we've had some change agent, and I think that they've upped their game. You know, they're going to have a good challenge coming into these next 4, going against NC State, a quarterback that extends plays. But they've done a good job, and I've been really pleased with the job Fred Reed's done with those guys. As
far as the defense taking away the ball, you mentioned taking away 4 times. It looks like they're developing a nose for the football here the last few weeks.
Yeah, they are. You know, I think when your tackling improves and you're more physical in the tackling and you're getting more people into the camera club, good things happen. We've forced a ton of fumbles this year, and we've gotten a ton of them. And I always felt like the defenses I've been around that were the best were the ones that had a lot of fumbles at the end of the year. Whether you pounce on them or not, there's physical play going on when that ball's on the ground after a run play, and that's what I've seen out of this group these last few weeks.
Offensively, how do you feel they hung in against one of the best defenses, probably the best you've seen all year?
Yeah, you know, not good enough. We have a lot of things to work on. You also have to look at the competition, who they're playing against. That's the reality of it. I think the young guy, you know, played young sometimes, and I know he was disappointed, but love his fight, love his will to get better, and he's up here studying as we speak, trying to get ready for this next game. So, you know, we just got to keep progressing forward. You know, you have to look at the things that you need to work on, but you also have to go back and say, here's the things that we've done well. Let's get back to making sure we're staying true to who we are. And, you know, we're going to need to run the ball well these last 4 games to come up with the wins that we need. And we need to just stay together. And that's the thing I like most about this team is their effort to stay together as a team. And, you know, looking forward to working with them here Tuesday.
Yeah, special teams, Shafe, is one of the things you've done well with a young guy and an old guy. Riley Dixon had some really skyscraping punts, and Cole Murphy goes out and he hit a 50-yarder for you.
Yeah, God love him. I mean, Cole's doing a good job. You know, he's kicking into a pressure environment like Clemson. I don't know how those guys do it. I try to stay away from the kickers as much as I can. But Riley Dixon's putting together one hell of a season. You know, his net average, or I should say our punt team's net average, is in that 45-yard range, which is as good as anyone in the country. I think our coverage teams, both kickoff and punt, have improved drastically. People that don't get a lot of credit, guys like Zaire Franklin, guys like Corey Winfield, beating the gunner down the field. You know, we talk about Irv Phillips on offense doing some things, but his presence in the kicking game has been just exceptional. He played gunner this past week against, you know, 2 guys that could really lock you down good and protect their return man. But the 2 of those guys, Winfield and Phillips, did a great job helping Riley. Riley made it easier on him because that ball was up in the air for 5 seconds. But been really pleased with the progress in our kicking game, especially those 2 units.
Yeah, always good when you see the amount of fair catches you saw in the game. Let's look forward. NC State Saturday, 3 o'clock. You're back in the Dome. How exciting is it to come back home?
It's going to be great. You know, we got two games coming up back in the Dome. It's always good to be back home. Our kids are excited to be off the road. It's been a it's been a hell of a journey these last 6-7 weeks. Late nights, getting back at 4 in the morning. Kids are pressing forward. Now we got a good opponent in NC State coming into our house. We got to take care of business.
Yeah, quick thought on NC State. Jacoby Brissett, their quarterback, a transfer from Florida. He stands out for them.
Yeah, a young man from down where Wiggum's from, and very good player. One of the better quarterbacks coming out, decides to transfer, and they got themselves a good player. He's a guy that can throw the ball down the field. He can also extend plays with his feet and take off with it. He played an exceptional game against Florida State earlier in the year and did some unbelievable acrobatic things to give them a chance in the fourth quarter to win that game. So we'll have our challenges in front of us, and it'll start with him on offense.
All right, Shafer, go get him this week.
Thanks, Brian.
That's Syracuse football head coach Scott Shafer, Cuse and the Wolfpack this Saturday at 3 o'clock.